What's up, guys? So today I'm going to be telling you guys how to instantiate enemies to your game in certain spots with a particle system. I'm doing this because I struggled so much on this, so maybe if you somehow struggle, I can help you with this video. This is the final product for me, so yeah. So for the setup, you want to have some spawn points, so that will be done by making an empty game object and putting the spawn points inside it, and it can be as many as you want. I just chose 6 for my scenario. You also want to have an enemy prefab. You can import it through like your Photoshop editor, or in this case, or in my case, I just made it in Unity. But it has to be a prefab for it to work. This is what the inside of the enemy prefab should have for the tutorial to work. In my case, I'm using a laser gun, so you want the bullet prefab that you will be shooting with. I won't be providing the code for that, but if you want it, tell me and I'll think about doing it. But I'm not gonna just do it just cause I need some motivation. These are the components for the bullets, which is a script, a rigid body, and a box collider. So that is important, and make sure you put the tag as bullets because it needs to be done that way. Then you will make a script that is named whatever you want, and it will be attached to a game object. So enemy 1 is basically the instantiated object, while E1 is the prefab of the enemy. Then you make an array of the spawn points that you added in the hierarchy in the Unity editor itself. And then you want to get the position of the player so the enemy has something to follow. Then you want the random spawn point integer variable, so it will choose a random position for the enemy to spawn in after death. And the health is pretty straightforward. Speed is just about how fast the enemy is actually moving. The can damage variable is just to check if it's allowed to further add or take away the health and add the particle system effect. And then the particle system effect is just to play when it dies. Now we say what speed equals to in the start method, and rand spawn point is basically choosing an actual spawn position that we made in the hierarchy. Enemy 1, again, it's just the instantiated object of the actual enemy you made, and then health of the enemy. That can be any number, obviously. Now, in the update method, we say enemy1.transform.position. That's basically just making it follow the player continuously. Then we have a line of code that says transform.position, and that's because we made a game object that the script is attached to, because we want it to follow the enemy at all times, because there's a box collider attached to it, but we can get into that later. We just know that the transform.position line is very important. And then the particles.position is just to make sure that it will play in the position of the death. So now we are checking collisions, but this is not with the enemy itself, it's with the game object that the script is attached to. And we are checking if the bullets are shooting at it, and if it does, if it is allowed to damage the player, then it will take 5 of its health away. And if it's below or equal to 0, if the health is below or equal to 0, then the particles of the enemy will play in that position, and then a coroutine will start, and then it's no longer allowed to damage. So enemy 1.setActive equals true. I did this personally because when the health is equal to 0, I made sure that the player did not die yet until it waited a certain amount of seconds. So I just made it set active to false, so that when it spawns the enemy 1 again, or E1 again, it will be set to true. I'm sorry if that doesn't really make sense, but it's technically just respawning the enemy instead of just destroying it completely. So this is the coroutine spawn. The wait for seconds is so the game object won't destroy immediately, because if it does, then the particle system won't play when it's supposed to, because it's not playing at the position you want. I'm gonna try my best to explain this. So basically, we have a place that we want the particles to be set to, and we instantiate it when something happens. We remake it. We say what it is again. And if we say what it is again, then the particle system will move to that position. So we want it to stay in the position it's already in, instead of going to the new thing or to the new position. I hope that makes sense. Then you just want to destroy it after the particle system played, and then you want to reset the health so it won't go overboard or anything, or it won't keep playing this repeatedly. And then you want to instantiate the enemy again after it's been destroyed. That's pretty much it. Now the script we just made, we want to put that into the enemy spawner. It's at the bottom of the picture I just showed you, and these are the components inside the enemy spawner. Tag the game object enemy1. Do not forget to drag the prefab into the E1 box. Leave enemy1 alone, like the actual words where it says game object, and add the spawn point positions to the array, and add the player transform / position to the player variable in the component, the script component. And don't forget to add and make your particle system particles to the Unity hierarchy thing, because, well, to play the particles, you need them. I'm just saying it in case it wasn't obvious. There probably are better ways to try this. This is just how I found it to work. Again, it took me a while, but if you somehow know a easier, faster way, gladly tell me. I would very much appreciate that. Don't forget to check out my game Phobic. It's almost, well, it's released, but not done because this level is being added to it at some point, I guess. And don't forget to check out my website. It just has projects, because I'm learning other stuff and they're not as good. Have a nice day. Have a good day. Goodbye. Subscribe, comment, feedback. Appreciate you so much. Thank you.